Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Estella Vimladris. I'm Kai, I use he, they, and she pronouns, and you're back for another episode of Seems Right, Co-working edition. Before we do that, let's talk about this wild world that we live in. In times of crisis, we must stand unified. Through community organizing, being a listening ear, spreading joy, and talking openly about our shared values, we can build a strong community so that when crisis comes, we can act. We are faced with multiple crises at the moment, all around the world, both domestically and abroad. It includes abdication of care from our politicians, climate catastrophes, and violence, to devastation from colonizing and oppressing forces. And it's a lot. Take time to learn about these things. It is important to be a citizen of the world that you live in. Use your voice when you are able to call for change. Vote, donate, volunteer, and care for each other in your community. The only way through this is together. In caring for those right beside us, we must not forget the wider world that we live in. We should fight for the freedom of those oppressed around the world, especially those facing genocide and violent oppression. I stand with the people in Sudan, the DRC, and Palestine, and all oppressed peoples of the world in their struggle for liberation. As always, you can use !Gaza in my chat to find resources of how you can help Palestinian people both in Gaza and the West Bank in their effort not only to actually have sustained peace, but also to rebuild their communities. With that, that's all the upfront stuff other than thank you so much for being here. Today's kind of a chill stream day. I'm so appreciative for you all every week. Usually this stream is a little more educational, but at the moment I do have a weensy bit of a cold. And it is also a week to kind of relax and unwind for me. So I thought we'd have a little chill stream, do a little co-working and hanging out. I'll also answer questions in the chat if anyone's got any. But thank you so much for being here. It means the world that you enjoy my stories, enjoy the information I have to usually provide, and hopefully you learned something today as well. And if you're enjoying my streams, please consider following, and if you're able to, subscribe. I'm an independent content creator, and all of your support helps me do this and talk to you about what you can do to make your stories more rich and personal. All of these streams are uploaded a week later over onto YouTube. You can also watch them either live right now on Twitch or in the VOD over on Twitch later, completely for free, just with ads, unless you subscribe. Oh, captions. Not my captions. I need those. I know why. I got you. I am on my free roaming microphone right now. So that's why. Because support from incredible viewers and in this case, my beloved family, I can do things like change microphones because I'm talking to you on my lavalier today. So that I can move around and you can still hear me and I'm not fighting with my microphone while I'm trying to sew. Thank you for that flag. Always so good. We need those captions. So yeah, you can always check out all of the videos on YouTube later. And if you're watching right now on YouTube, hey, thanks so much for watching. You can always click that like and subscribe button. It does help me out actually quite a bit. If you leave a comment, all that stuff, very, very helpful over there. But I'm just super grateful you're here and we're gonna vibe. So today, as I mentioned, this is gonna be kind of a chill stream. I have a bunch of stuff over here to work on a project that I've been trying to spend more time on, but I've been very busy. I've had a lot of stuff going on over the last week, which is why I have a cold, because if you didn't know this, if you push your body too far, it just says, you gotta stop now. I always say it like my post-tech cold that I used to get when I was doing theater a lot. But now it's just that I was really busy last week. So I'm not contagious. I feel very fine streaming. I'd just be sitting at my computer doing very similar work. But if at any point in time I start to lose steam, we're gonna end stream early, but I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah, Watson and Rigby do not need microphones. Watson is, however, sitting right here and staring at me because he does love sewing time. Today, We're gonna do a little live sewing. I've got my camera set up over here so you can also see me doing some handwork. You wanna see a cat? He's not interested in moving, but I'll show you a picture of him. He's like, good luck getting me to move. Joke's on you. I'll show you a picture of him helping me last week in the way that only cats can. So I was doing a big battle map build, which if you haven't heard, the battle maps that I worked on, well, like a month and change ago, the first one went live over on Just Roll With It. They're back with their long-running show Riptide. They're doing live in studio with battle maps now. And my battle map was in their first episode back. Here is Watson helping me build a battle map by standing on all of the supplies. The most helpful boy. I was literally unpacking everything that was delivered to my house. And he was like, what if I sit in the middle of it? I'm so helpful. You can see I've got my Sobo glue, I've got paint, I got all this stuff. And he's just like, hello, I'm helping. You will find, dear viewer, he was not helping. He is, in fact, very unhelpful. But right now he's being helpful and being a sleepy baby angel. Yeah, let's do... Yeah, we'll start with this. So, messy table over here. For those of you who don't know, Arc 4 of the Chaos Protocol, I have a new look. And I did something similar for Arc 2, where I had hand wraps that I really liked that were this beautiful brown silk that I just have. And for Arc 4, I extended the wraps all the way down my arms, which is great and wonderful, but the real secret behind most wraps in film, television, theater, any way that you can get it to sustain for longer than 10 minutes, it is probably sewn onto something. And so what you've seen in the streams up to this point for Arc 4, I am manually wrapping and unwrapping them over their base. So we're gonna walk through the parts really quick before I start to actually work on it. But these are the bases. Ooh. There was an incident in my washer in which one of them got turned a little bit more red than the other, but I've decided that that's fine. So these are just like athletic coverage sleeves. You can see here. This one is oddly my skin color. But they are just thin sleeves that have a little bit of just like give, and then at the top there's a little bit of silicone up here. Oh, yes, I love a jersey knit glove. And then over the top of them I have 4 wraps, 2 in each fabric and 2 for each sleeve. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to do the wrapping, pin them in place, take them off, and sew them, in theory. This is actually something that's long been in my to-do for this show, is do some project time and show you all some sewing. You've got this, Erica. I believe in you. Just, you know, make sure you care for yourself. And sometimes self-care includes knowing your limitations and asking for help. Okay, so sleeves are on. Now I have these wraps. So I'm actually replacing the ones I've been using all arc, because the ones I've been using all arc, which are the same as, here's the ones I've been using. And here are the new ones. They're the same fabric. The only difference is that these are from my Caleb Widowgas costume. I love that cosplay and I'm not going to be taking these away from it, but I found the fabric in my fabric stores and cut new ones. You need to make arms for your dress form? Yeah. Gotta get those, Sokka, my beloved. Yeah, arms on your form is such a thing. I am spoiled and have worked in a lot of costume shops that have armed forms. And like, now that I'm not working in a costume shop, I'm like, do I need that? Maybe. Instead of, I'll show you my stand-in, which is this. It's a rolled beach towel. We're gonna get there. So the way I've been wrapping these, and I'm just gonna wrap them essentially the way I would for the show, and then I'm gonna pin them after, is I'm going to wrap over the edge right here. And I'm wrapping them halfway with one, and then swapping fabrics, then directions. And wrapping the other way. Because, in theory, in the actual fiction, my thought is that these are actually many fabrics, but because I am only going to do it in 2 fabrics and then destroy them, well, that's awesome, Erica. I've been meaning to, I have a really good form that largely does just fit me. The downside is it's not really a dress form, it's a store mannequin that I acquired through a friend of mine. But he doesn't have arms and he's not pinnable. So we have our disagreements. His name is John. You should always be normal and name your dress forms. He's named John after the first costume I ever made on him, which was a commission that I don't do anymore. Okay. Ooh, that ended up being way thick on the bottom. I wonder why. And I'm going to work these around until I'm happy with them, since I am going to be sewing them on. I don't love that. Okay, we're gonna redo that. The lower half is not coming out how I wanted it to. Well, hello, hello. Welcome to the party. We are doing some live sewing work, and by sewing work in this moment, I mean fighting with fabric. Trying to figure out why this isn't looking nice when it usually behaves so well. I love this cotton. So both of these are, I think they're both cotton. The gray might be a mixed fiber because it's really soft. But I know that the tan is cotton. Let's do this. We're gonna start a little further back. But in the fiction, this is supposed to be like many different scraps of fabric, all kind of made into sleeves. That's the logic behind the art and behind the kind of like reason for it being this way. Because when you survive an apocalypse, sometimes you make do with what you got. Yeah, I got really lucky. My store form is it's a masculine torso that my part of the problem I had early on in learning how to sew was that I have a really long torso. And most dress forms, which for those of you who don't know, dress forms are a gender neutral term for sewing forms. It is not just for dresses. Also, dresses are not just for women. But the dress forms that I was working with were all like femme body, hips, etc. And I was going to just pad out this form when I got it because my it was someone that I worked with when I was in undergrad, and she was like, you know, it's a pretty good size and it might work for what you do. And I was like, okay. And I got it and I measured it, and the torso length is actually my exact torso length. And the chest is only like a few, like not even a whole inch off of my, or at least it was off of my bound chest. So it became kind of my standard. And to this day, I'm actually not that different, which is very helpful. Here we go. We're getting there now. Okay. So I want these to look a little more wrappy. Sorry so much of this has been below the camera. Just trying to make the fabric behave. Okay. I can make that look nicer when I sew it for real. I see everyone's going through end of year stressors. That's so real, y'all. This is why I have a cold. Because everyone needs to do things by the end of the year. Okay, that looks great. I'm very happy with that one. So I'm going to pin this up in a little bit to then stitch it, because I'm not going to sew it on my body because it's skin tight. Yeah, Keith, I don't like that for you. I don't like it for me. Colds should be illegal. Okay, so I started with the gray on that arm, so we're going to start with the tan on this arm. Well, I hope everyone gets some reprieve, and I mean it when I say, like, part of caring for yourself is also knowing your limits and voicing them when you can. And I know that's not always able to happen, especially for school and for work, but I hope everyone is taking good care of themselves. Oh God, Erica, you're so strong. Those boosters always kick my ass. I gotta get my new one. Yes, I actually am going to be drinking tea once it's cool enough. I have tea with me today because I love tea. Yes, take your vitamins. Take your vitamins, take medication as able. Care for yourselves. Okay, gray, you know what? I need you to be a little bit less argumentative, actually. There we go. Okay. I love this gray. It's so soft, but it's also kind of wiggly. I got it for my Vander costume, actually. It's the collar. Because, you know, it should surprise literally no one if you're familiar with Arcane that I am obsessed with that old man. Oh, yeah. Cody, you better be resting. Oh, I'm gonna drink some water too. Let's all just drink some water. Okay, and part of the reason this works is the gray fabric, I'll show you over here, is actually a knit. I'm sure I'm gonna enlarge this. You can see is a knit, so it stretches really well. Come here, camera. And this is not a knit, but it's got a little bit of give. Correct, Erica. Okay. So, this is part of why we're doing a chill stream today, everybody. I cannot think big. I did all of my big thinking last week. Okay. Doot. Okay. So, we are wrapped. Even if a little bit, I would like a little bit of that showing. Now I can be picky, because it's going to get sewn. Haha. Okay, great. Fabulous. Okay, we're wrapped. No big thinking this week allowed. I do have to think big later in the week. But right now I get a reprieve. Okay, where are my safety pins? Oh, I have the wrong... There we go. Hello. So we're gonna use my fancy safety pins that are coated, that hopefully have less nickel in them, because as I've said before on this channel, I am allergic to nickel. So I'm actually gonna turn over here. We're gonna do this. And I'm gonna show you while I pin. Okay. So I'm always gonna try and put my finger and a gap between my skin and the safety pin. It's hard to do on this particular garment, but that's best practices. You should always try and put a gap between yourself and the point of the pin without stabbing yourself in the finger either. There we go. We got it. Camera, I'm gonna need you to behave more. Thank you. Okay. Now we're just gonna go around and I'm just gonna pin it in a few places and we're gonna see if I can remove it. Because if I can't remove it, then this is kind of not gonna work. And I'm gonna have to maybe cut the tan fabric to give it a little more mobility. Just little picks here and there. I do have a content warning for this stream, only for like sewing pins and sewing needles. Everything else should just be, you know, making stuff. But if you are adverse to non-medical pins, this is maybe not the stream for you. And sewing is probably not the hobby for you, since everything is pins. There we go, that's in. I'm probably gonna have to split this tan. I can already kind of tell, which is a bummer, because I like it all a continuous piece, but I get it. There we go. So I'm just taking little bites of the fabric against my skin so that I'm not stabbing myself. So I'm getting there really carefully and then making sure after the fact that I've only pinned through, that I've pinned through only the, I've only caught a little bit of the bottom. Let's see what's going on over here. Yes, I do enjoy an Elmer's based. Oh, I can't wait to start amending. I'm gonna do a stream of it. Yeah. Everyone work on stuff. As I said earlier, also, if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them while we're vibing. But for the most part, I am just gonna talk through what I'm doing while we go. And I'm using specifically safety pins because you shouldn't use straight pins on things that you are wearing or that other people are wearing while you are altering them. You should always use safety pins when it's on a person and then switch them to straight pins for sewing later. We're also going to put my ambidexterity to the test today because I am ambidextrous, but because of the way I was trained, a lot of my stuff ends up being right-hand dominant still, but I can pin left-handed pretty well. But I'm only ambidextrous because it's funny, not because it's super useful, because that would only be helpful. I'm ambidextrous because I'm also dyslexic. So I can't go, oh, my dominant hand. No, no. Ew! Get her out of here. Get that turf out of here. Oh, good. You are free from the horrible wizard woman. Be free of her. Okay. Just working my way down the arm. I'm gonna have to split that tan fabric. I know I am at this point. Ugh. But I don't wanna. It's fine. I'll just hide it. Okay, let's see if I can take these off. Oh wait, I should probably pin the places where the fabric meets the top. Okay. So, now that this is all pinned, I'm going to remove it. Switch cameras. Okay, so here's the pinned one. It's coming off now. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, cool. So there it is. And now I'm going to see if I can put it into this. I believe in you, Cody. Joanne derogatory. Correct. Get off of our screens, Joanne. No one wants you here. Okay. This towel's a little thick. I'm going to change the way I'm doing this. That's not going to make it better, is it? Maybe. Ugh. Sorry if I'm hitting my mic. There we go. This is why I've been putting this off, because it's gonna take a minute. It's a slow process of what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just pulling this over the towel. The silicone is, of course, making it harder. But this way, the fabric will all be stretched out while I'm working on it. As if my arm were in it. I just look like I have a really long arm. Oh. Oh my. One big cartoon mummy noodle arm. That's all I am in reality. Ugh, okay. Let's go. I am totally gonna have to split this tan fabric. That's okay. It'll make the whole operation so much easier if I do. I've made these before for various things, but I got lucky. Most of the costumes that I need wraps for, the fabric just, I buy the right fabric so that it just kind of does stick to itself the way that cartoons intended. But on occasion I've had to do this the correct and proper way. But like Rey from Star Wars, that shit's all sewn on. It's sewn down beautifully. Let's see here. I love my antisocial queen. Let's go. Okay. We now have a Kai arm. I've disarmed Xainan, everybody. Terrifying. Okay. Star Wars mention. Yeah. Listen, I love Rey. I do. She's a nightmare person, but in the best way, as with all good Star Wars characters, honestly. I was so thrilled with all the interviews with Oscar Isaac lately. My absolute beloved favorite character in Star Wars. And him being like, nah, man, until Disney stops caving to fascists, why would I come back? I'm like, I love you. Please don't change. Yes, please disarm him. Okay, so now that I have this lovely replica of my arm outside of my personage, I'm going to do the same thing I did on this arm to this arm. I'm also going to label this now so that I remember which one's which. Right and left. I'm just gonna take a Sharpie for right now. This is gonna be my left arm. And I literally just wrote L. And I know which one's the top and the bottom, which is another thing I have been known to write on garments. Okay, so one down. Disarms you cutely. Yes, correct. A decoy arm. Yes. I could totally make a stupid decoy body double of myself. That would be a weird skill to have. But you know what? Sherlock Holmes did it. His was wax. That's so creepy. Wax bodies are so creepy. Okay. Let's get this done. And I'm going to clean up some of this stuff too. Oh, my music stopped. Again, trying to get that gap between my skin and the fabric. We'll see if that happens. Come on. There we go. First pin is in. Change everything to be left-handed now. Come on. Go under the fabric, though. Okay, there we go. Come on, hands. If you were doing this and you are not ambidextrous, which I understand the majority of the population is not, I would recommend either doing both on one arm or having a friend help you. Oh my God, here, hold on. I know it's just an arm, but only because they're right here and it's silly. Cursed, actually. No, Kai, you're being cursed and weird. Anyways, putting that arm down there. It's okay, you can put me on timeout. I'll allow it. Listen, you'd be right. My joints also get worse when it's cold. It was genuinely cold. Listen, it was LA cold. I say genuinely cold, and I'm so sorry to people who live in cold climates. Like, cold to me is like 60 degrees. It was very cold here last week. Don't judge me. It actually, I want to say it got like almost in the like 50s last week. I don't remember. Oh my God. Yeah, no, real. My hands in particular, because I have done quite a bit of just like life damage to my hands. It is a miracle that I am dexterous at all. And when it's cold, my hands are like, ah, what are you doing? Why are you moving? Normally I would fix things like this little rise, but I think I'm just gonna shred it out if I don't like it when it's done, so. Oh yeah, no, Cody, you moved a lot. That's too, hey, Keith, no. That's too cold. I don't like that. Oh, wait, I have the wrong camera up. My God. Kai, what are you doing? Okay. Let's go dexterity. Yeah. I also need you to know that I have the best view ever right now. I'm gonna take a picture and share it with you. Yeah, relative temperature sensitivity. Wow, I know how to speak. Is wild. Look at my son. He's a peep. Okay. I share in a second when I'm done pinning. As a treat, you all get to see my adorable sleeping son when we're done pinning. Yeah, when Watson was a little baby, I was sewing a theater production when he was a little kitten. And so his entire life, I've just been sewing. So when I sew, he has like this set understanding of like, I don't touch those things, but if there's trim or something like that, I will play with him with it, which is maybe not always the best thing, but he doesn't play with it without me, so at least there's that. Yeah, Keith, that couldn't be me. That's too cold. And I couldn't move somewhere that cold. I would expire. I am so from this beautiful, you know, desert coastal climate. I'm built this way. There we go. Just trying to pin it within an inch of its life so that it doesn't move a lot. Because it's not like it needs to be the most precise thing ever. I just need it to not wiggle around too much. The reason I did this on my arms and not on a form is because the shape of the elbow is so important. In wrapping. Let's see. Oh yeah, Cascade would be fucking freezing at night. The original climate was based around like central and southern Japan, where it's like damp but not too damp, warm but not too warm, and can get cold. But now, what is climate? What are we saying here? Lena, what are you telling people about me? You come out of a lurk to tell people how cold it was? Let's see, what are we saying about it? No, I did. I learned how to ski around the same time I learned how to walk. So I'm actually very capable in cold climates, but I don't want to live there. Yeah, I learned how to ski when I was an itty bitty baby. The skis that I learned on are shorter than my arms. And I did try snowboarding. I'm okay at it. I do kind of hate it. Just because so much of it involves laying in the snow, and in skiing you don't do that. See, so the thing about skiing and nurses, my mom's best friend is a nurse, my second mom. And my mom and dad used to own a ski shop. My dad used to be a professional skier. Like, I know way too much about skiing. So I know for a fact that my second mom, nurse, has in fact done some of that as well. And I have sustained injuries because of it, but also sport fun. Yeah, listen, snowboarding is for laying down in the snow and hurting your hips. I have way more control with skis. I like ski. Okay. I think we're almost through enough pins on this. Oh, I love skimboarding. Skimboarding's fun. I also used to be a very prolific boogie boarder. I don't know. I like board sports. I skateboarded. I'm from the place that skateboarding is in theory from, so I feel like that was a mandatory part of my childhood, though. Yeah. Erica, that's so real. Oh, snowboarding on a sand dune is sick, though. Okay. I think that's all the pinning this needs for now. I don't like this pin, actually. I'm gonna fix it. It's a little loose for my comfort. So these do end in gloves, so there's a little bit of freedom with how the ends are finished. Yeah, there we go. And then the top, no one will ever really see. Okay, so let's see if I can pry this off. And obviously this one can't go on the form right now. Yeah, I haven't skied or snowboarded in a bajillion years. But it is fun. Okay. The goal, yeah, I'm gonna have to split these. I'll find a way to do it nicely. There we go. But, okay. Ideally, if I had planned well, these wouldn't be non-stretch fabric, but I like that fabric too much. So we're doing mix. That's fine. Let's straighten this all out. So this is going to be the elbow. I'm going to put a pin here. To remind myself that that's going to be the elbow. Put a few more pins now that I'm not wearing it. And now that I've come this far, I have to finish this before I have to wear this on stream. Ha ha ha. Okay. So, noodle arm Xainan Esh. Yep. Just figuring out where to split this now. I can split it there. So I'm just looking for seams, essentially. Okay, but it's like a damp desert. Okay, we're gonna do the down camera again, and I'm gonna show you my logic as I look for places to split the stretch fabric. So, this is gonna hide that, and I'm gonna pin it to remind myself that. But first I'm gonna cut it. And any sins that I may commit in not having finished edges can be purposeful because this is an apocalyptic costume. Ta-da! Then that can go over that, perfect. And then that gives me more give there, perfect. And then do one here, same thing. So you notice I'm bracing the fabric before I'm cutting it. I'm cutting it, and then I'm pinning it right where it came from to not lose the tension in the wrap, because I like how that looks. Lightly stab yourself because you're sewing, and that's what you do when you sew. Didn't break skin, great. Oh, this turns over this way, yeah. Trying to decide where to split it next. I think it's gonna be here. Yes, it is in fact desert cold and desert hot. You're right, you're right. It would get so cold when I was working there at night. Oh, night shows, so cold. Especially like Phantasmic. Cold, cold, cold. Okay. Split there. Probably split here as well. Oh, I owe you all a picture of Watson being adorable. Yeah, I said your name. You're a baby. Hello. He's literally watching me sew. It's so cute. Now that he's not asleep. Hi, baby. Okay, that's probably a lot better. Okay, I owe you all a picture of my sweet son and what he is doing, what I've been watching this whole time while I've been pinning. Okay, here we go. Nope, this one. Look at him. Look at him. He's so cozy. He's just laying there. He's being a baby about it. That's a good boy. So yeah, that's my helper. Okay, so that's all like trimmed up and should be a lot easier to put on now with these extra little splits. So the next thing I'm gonna do is actually start sewing it, which I'll do after the break. It's just now 4 o'clock. We're gonna take a moment to get up, stretch. I'm gonna pet this cat right here, and get a snack and maybe finally drink some of this tea now it's 1,000 degrees. And I'll see you all in about 10 minutes. Nope, still too hot. See you then. Hello everyone, welcome back from break. We are having nice chill sewing time. Before we get back into that, I have some channel point redeems that people littered me with over break. So first of all, of course, thank you, Indomitable Jason, for your regular contribution to Cat Time. So first of all, we're gonna get to this one. Look at him. He's beauty, he's grace. He's helping me at my desk. Baby angel man. So serious. Good paw. So that's Watson. We're gonna find the second one in a second. I owe Vault Companions a hydrate. And I've already started shuffling my tarot cards. Here we go. I'm gonna move the Xainan noodle arm. I love that Lena redeems these, even though she sees these cats all the time. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna split that. And, oh, the Emperor. An excellent card. Helps if I have the book. The Emperor. Protection, stability, the father. The Emperor is the father. He's the tarot's perfect counterpart to the Empress. He represents the side of you that's protective, decisive, and truly stable. He brings clarity of mind, and this in turn leads to actions or decisions. Sometimes this card is literal and points to a paternal relationship in your life. At other times, it suggests reconnecting with the part of you that stands strong and tall and knows just what to do. With help from the sun, the Emperor can see for miles and miles. The Emperor is meant to be that, like, true North decision-making that you just can do it. And it is clarity of purpose, and there is a masculine undertone to it, but it is so much at its heart about knowing what the right thing for you to do is. Yeah, I love that card. It's so pretty. So thank you so much for that tarot card pull. We got one more Show Us Cat that I gotta go find. Since there's, yeah, it's this one. It made me laugh too hard. All right, now for an inelegant picture. Look at him. He's so startled by life. Hi, Rigby. Hi, good boy. Is your papa taking your picture when you're not ready? Oh. In this picture, you can see also that Watson is clearly like stepping past him, which means Rigby is trying so hard to be calm here and not turn and bite him. It's so funny. Oh, he is a little dusty. That could be dander as well. He does have dander. Yeah. Look at him. He's so silly. He's so perplexed. I love him. So that's my goofy boy. It would be a good emote. He's so cute. He's a silly man. I went to go see him on break, and I couldn't even find him because I think he's nested in my bed somewhere. And I was just like, I'm just leave you be. I'm not gonna bother you right now. Okay, so put these away for now. Thank you so much for all those channel point redeems. I love doing that stuff. Sweet, perfect, silly boys. Okay, putting these back. It's time for some thread. So I'm gonna start by stitching the tan. So let's get this down camera going. Tan thread. To go with my tan fabric. So I'm gonna just pull, because basically all I'm gonna be doing is tacking, which for those of you who are unfamiliar, all tacking is just like putting a single stitch or usually maybe a handful of stitches in one spot to just keep something mounted there. And then tie my knot, get my needle out. So I have a nice hooked needle for exactly this purpose. It's technically called a Glover's needle. I use them for lots of stuff because they're good, just curved guys. This is my Glover's needle. And all of my needles are not nickel plated, they are platinum plated because I'm allergic to nickel. Thread the needle. And then last but not least, because we are hand sewing, got my wax. And this is going to make it so that the thread behaves better. Run it through some beeswax. You can see I do this often. Oh, how do you know if a hand sewing needle is dull? If I have a hard time getting through like a pretty simple woven, usually that's when I go like, this one's dull. I very rarely dull needles though. It's not a thing that I experience often. I'm gonna take that wax and just heat it with my fingers. I'll sooner like break or lose a needle very often. I've had needles, some needles for a bajillion years. Like this is pretty old, but also like this is a huge needle. It's gonna be really hard for it to get dulled. And if you ever do have like a burr, burrs are more common. I feel like I get burrs on needles way more often than I get dulled needles. And burrs are what they sound like. They're just a little like piece of metal kind of sticking off the edge that you may or may not even be able to see with the naked eye. That gets stuck on stuff, and you can take, if you have a sewing tomato, which I don't own or use, but in theory, the reason for the strawberry on the tomato is to sharpen your needles, and you can knock off burrs and sharpen them that way. So all we're going to be doing is going around and tacking the tan fabric down in places, and I'm going to start at the wrist, where in theory it's supposed to curve up and get tucked in. I don't feel like I need to tack the gray underneath it in gray. I am just going to do this and tack it here, pull through a few. This is not going to be pretty. It doesn't need to be. This is just to make sure everything behaves. And I'm going to go through it twice. I don't know why I tied that thread off. I'm never going to use it like that. Hope that answers your question, Erica. It was kind of a non-answer. But in general, in my experience, like, it takes a lot to dull a needle. Oh yeah, if you find that it's becoming harder and harder to push through your quilting, chances are it's dull. Because I do so much fine handwork, which is like usually on stuff that's got a pretty easy to pass through weave or a knit. I don't, why did I tie? This is just habit. It's fine. I don't need to tie that off. I'm just being compulsive. But I get it. So I'm just going to tack this down. The hope is that I can disguise the tacking in among the distressing and the folds and all the other stuff so that it doesn't look like I've gone through and like stapled it in place. And most sewing you would want to do from the other side, but because of the nature of this, I'm doing it from the front to make sure that it's looking the way I want it to. And I can't really sew it from the inside right now, and turning it inside out to sew it would be honestly a giant pain. So this is going to be quick and dirty, inelegant sewing, and I'm okay with it. Oh, yeah. Also, if you squeeze the fibers of the textile together, so whether that is through quilting clips or even just pinning it, if the weaves don't align correctly, you can actually make it harder for the needle to pass through, which would be something that would then again dull your needle over time, or could just make it harder to pass through in general. Knowledge. Yeah, I have not done a lot of quilting in my life. I saw that you were on a quilting adventure, and I think that's very cool. But I myself have never really quilted. Are you waxing your thread? Because it could also be your thread. Okay. Let's see here. Come on. Come on. There are ways to do this as a continuous stitch using something like a feather stitch, which I'm a big fan of, but it is so not important for this. Like you can barely see that stitch. So, not important to disguise it better. Upholstery thread. Oh, you have hand quilting cotton thread? Yeah, I mean, you could still wax it though. The wax will come off when you press. Waxing your thread makes everything easier, in my opinion. I am a big fan. I can commit so many like sewing crimes on this because it's all gonna get also painted and distressed further. You see me making these loops, it's because I'm basically reverse engineering how knots are made, so that I don't have to twist the short end of the thread. I do want to stitch up there. Let's see. So we've got Erica sewing. Is anyone else working on any projects? Happy to cheer you on. Okay, there's that. Just 1,000 little tacks. I'm double stitching the ones at the wrist because I feel like they're the most likely to get pulled on. But because these are not for like pretty hefty wear and tear, like I'm not worried too much about them structurally because they're pretty much just going to be worn here in my house for a transplanter. And if I reuse them, I can always reinforce them later. If it is needed. Good night. Oh yeah, go to bed. There we go. Okay. Great. I want to purposely overlap those a little. We'll see. I'm going to purposely kind of sew in some folds and stuff. Leather hair ties. That's fun. Using like almost like a slide system, Gail. If you're up for sharing, I'm very curious. That, okay. Oop, I backstitched through my own thread. That's okay. Oh, maybe I didn't. Nope, I did. That's fine. Oh, nice. Yeah, slide will hopefully help with that because like elastic can be so brutal. I have really beefy hair, so I'm always like, I don't know, and then I'll give someone one of my hair ties and they're like, why do you have basically rubber bands for hair ties? I promise I don't use rubber bands for hair ties. But I have real thick Japanese hair. Could have gone one of two directions and I got the, I got very thick hair. My European mother has very fine hair, and then you could like build a bridge with mine. Okay. we're just gonna keep going around until everything's stitched down. Oh, stick plus leather. Yeah. Oh. I love hair sticks. They don't work on my hair because it's too slick, but they're very cool. And like the ways in which they don't really then like put any pressure on the hair is really nice. I've only ever been able to wear them if I also then like put a rubber band underneath them. Oh, that's so cool, Erica. Thank you so much for sharing that. There's that. Do you need to go all the way through right here as well? Somewhere in there. That's so funny. I figure every so often I can do project time like this, because I also have like wigs that I need to ventilate. And that kind of stuff that's just been sitting around waiting for me to have project time, so. Wig ventilating is so time consuming. I wouldn't mind having this wig done. Oh. Oh, that's rough. Sorry that didn't work out. That's rough. Okay, there we go. We're slowly removing pins. All right, tea. I'm giving you another try. That's not tea, that's water. I'll just also drink that. Okay, it's a little more drinkable. I'm also gonna drink some of this. Okay. Silly noodle arm, returnus. Yay! Oh, I'm so glad, Indie Wanderer. Auditions are so scary. Good on you for going out there and doing it, and I really do hope that you get the role you wanted. Okay, there's all that. Oh, that reminds me, I have to do like It's not necessarily audition work, but I need to make a new reel. I've been thinking about it a lot recently. I have not made an actual play reel since early Arc 1 of the Chaos Protocol. Like, really early, like, first half of Arc 1. Oh, it's been a while. I don't even know what to put it in. I've been keeping a list. I've got some stuff, but reels are hard, man. Thankfully, a lot of shows don't really need them, but it's more of a, like, good to have. And given that I don't have a VO reel yet, it's kind of the thing I send people when I'm like, I swear I sound good when I speak into a microphone. Yes, please keep us in the loop, Indie Wanderer. I would love that. Listen, AP reels are, I feel like not a lot of places need them or want them or ask for them, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't ask for them very often. But so much of it is like, I get people asking me for a reel for like, pitching me for like funded shows, and I'm like, I don't know. And then, of course, I have to sit down and actually make it, which is a whole other problem. Because, I mean, I can only complain so much. I have a wealth of wonderful things to choose from. I've been so spoiled. But then it's like, what do I put on the reel? Why do I choose those things? And because it's like a new industry, new like genre of performing, there's no like one way to do it. My old reel is so old though, and I need to update it. It's so old. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, if you've got stuff in the can, and maybe it's something where you like get the clips in advance, even from production, depending on who you're working with, you might be able to get raw footage of the whole episode in advance and then clip it. But even then, just like clipping it off of Twitch and YouTube is good. I'm having a volume issue at this point where I have so many things that I'm like, ooh, that was good. One of the problems I run into though is that it's like, I feel like I do my best work in context. I personally, it's not really a criticism so much as like a statement of craft, of that, like, I don't find myself to be super clippable. I know that's not completely true, but overall, I think that my performance is 1,000 times better in context. And so I'm always like, how do I tell them the entire backstory of this moment in a 10-second clip? Because it's hard to explain why certain performances matter more and certain moments matter more. Yeah, editing takes time, it can take money. Mine is also like scraping for stuff because I have all the bare bones stuff for the editing, and it's just a matter of like choosing clips, deciding what explains my skill as a performer to other people. I'm like, I don't know, I tell stories, I enjoy it. I'm also thinking that I need to make a little like sizzle reel for this channel. And I'm like, okay, well, let me show you my 30 PowerPoint presentations. This is why I haven't gotten into short form media either. I'm like, I'm not really clippable. I am. I'm not saying that because I think I'm bad at stuff. It's more just like a, What do you got, Erica? Yes, I do love a costume change. I'm a little sad that the reason why, because the whole backstory on my Crit Awards nomination this year was that apparently I was nominated for so many different projects that the Crit Awards themselves said, like, choose which project. It doesn't really matter. You're nominated for a bunch of different ones. Choose a project for the nomination. And I chose the Doomsayers because I think that my work there really speaks about like what I care about as a costume designer and a costumer. But there's a series of events in the Doomsayers in which I change costumes in one episode, I think 3 times. And each of them is like motivated and interesting, but only in the context, again, of the episode. Otherwise, it's kind of, I don't know, I like it, but it's not like visually spectacular. And this goes into why, like, I want to do kind of a craft recognition thing outside of awards, because so much of what I do and what I care about when I see other people do it, it's what I care about, is like the craft of costuming, the craft of like people who have evolutions of looks throughout a show. I know some people who have done some of that. It's one of the things I do a lot of. I love someone who does something really technically interesting to make their costume really like play well in a scene. It's the stuff I'm the most interested in creatively in costuming in this space. And so it's always one of those, like, how do I explain the technical thing behind this? The narrative reasoning behind it. It's not just spectacle, it is story, it is built in the fiction, it is all the things that if you're watching any Seems Right episode, you know it's the stuff I value the most. When that's not always what is explainable, marketable, etc. Oh, I love a pauldron. I love pauldrons. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. And like that one important thing for a character. Like, part of the reason I'm so obsessed with these wraps is because they're so pivotal to Xainan. It is something that I have known about since Arc 1, that I've kind of talked about in the show a little bit, that this is his, like, the exposure to the dust is very important to his story, not just because of the sad things, but because it's a part of who he is. It's how he thinks about the world. I love that. When I'm talking about like skillful, like costume craft stuff, it's not just like Gentle is a beautiful piece of like art, and like especially the embroidery work and stuff on that costume is so gorgeous, but also like the costume craft of like storytelling with a costume is also a part of this though. Like, kind of one of the things I'm thinking about is how to, as a community, uplift good storytelling through costuming. Because that's the good stuff. Okay, I'm actually gonna stitch this down for real. I'm gonna do a quick little whip stitch in here. Sewing! Valiant Dorian, my beloved. Are you on your new computer, my friend? I've been meaning to ask you like all day. I've been like, how's it going? What's it like? Tell me everything. Oh, I love that, Erica. See, this is the good stuff right there. Yeah, Val, I'm sewing Xainan back together. Come on, you. Oh no! Well, I look forward to you getting your computer. I've been thinking about you. Excited for you. I'm just gonna really harshly whip stitch this down and make sure that I'm not whip stitching into the towel, which I am immediately the moment that I think about it. Oh my god. Kai. Oh, I like really got in there. Okay, I fixed it. It's all fine. Yeah, I'm, these are Xainan sleeves that I'm sewing. There we go. Jesus. Do. Been longing to have time to do these. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and this is one of those ends that I snipped to make it more stretchy. And the reason for this fat whip stitch that I'm doing is in hopes that it doesn't impede the stretch too much. It might. We'll see. These aren't meant to be so gorgeous. I'm not gonna go submit these for craftsman review anywhere. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. I just have to remember to cover that. Put a safety pin there to remind myself. No, I've stitched it down a few times to the towel. Kai! We're fine. It's fine, everybody. We're doing great. Hey, that's a lot of safety pins that aren't in it anymore. Let's do this side now. Would like a gray stitch there in the future when I am sewing with gray. It's going well. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Let's keep going. So time consuming. Who said sewing could take this long? I'll make sure to fix it in the future. That's how sewing works. You can just cut the time out, right? It's a cruel fate to have time blindness in my ADHD and a love of a hobby slash craft that takes forever. It takes for fucking ever. It's fine. Oh my god, there's only 10 minutes left to stream. Well, hopefully I book it on these because I have to wear them again soon. Haha. Yes, it is most definitely underestimated, especially if you were embroidering like out and about and like when you were doing other stuff. Yeah, trying to keep track of like amount of time spent on a costume. This is why one of the reasons I don't do commission is like costuming takes so long, and the way that I do it, the thing that gets me into costuming, the thing that people like about my costuming is that I do take the time, which means like hand stitching and all that stuff takes a lot of time. And if I were to charge someone for it, they would not want to pay me for the amount of time and what it would cost. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah, I used to do, I've done some like timing stuff on my costuming, and it's also that when I worked in costume shops and stuff like that, I would actually clock hours like it was a job. So, I know approximately how long it takes me to do some stuff, but stuff like this, I'm like, I don't know, I'll just be doing it until it's done. Which might be a long time. We'll see. Okay, that's all great. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, fast fashion, I'm constantly at war with. And it's also just like, there's something to be said for like even just being able to make clothing quickly in industrialized settings outside of just the idea of fast fashion. Because like part of the reason why t-shirts are so prolific is that they're really easy to make. It's like tube with 2 tubes on it. Done. Correct. To this day, costume designing and costumers, including craftspeople making costumes as well as set dressers and things like that, make on average 25% less than people in parody jobs in the art department, which is the production design and that kind of stuff. Yeah, figure that one out. 25% less, including the top end costume designers and like names, famous names that you know, people who have inspired like whole sections of like modern fashion and things like that. They make significantly less because who needs pay parity and gender equality anyways? Okay, I'm gonna tie this off and I'm gonna stop for now. And I'm gonna go take a rest in a minute because I do have a cold and I can feel my cold medicine wearing off. And it's almost time for stream to end anyways. Okay. Nope, that doesn't feel secure. There we go. That's secure. Okie doke. Well, we got pretty far. These are both pinned, both sides, and I stitched quite a few little pick spots. About, I would say, a quarter of the way through the stitching on this sleeve. Yeah. So I'm pretty pleased indeed. Stay. And with that, we're gonna switch on over here. Oh, thank you so much for hanging out today and for everyone being so cool with me having kind of a chill Seems Right today. Feeling, oh, thank you for the hydrate. Feeling pretty good about that progress. And you will see them when next you see me on the Chaos Protocol. But in the meantime, let's talk about what's going on for the rest of the week, shall we? Let's see here. I have a calendar. I know who I am. I know what's going on. Okay. So, I am offline tomorrow. The Fourth Age is offline because people are traveling home from PAX Unplugged. The Road to Nowhere has ended over on Happy Jack's RPG. So, I'm gonna drink some of this tea. Wow. So my Tuesday right now, I am completely offline. I'm been doing some prep and some recovery from this cold. And then on a Wednesday, I'll be back with more Power Wash Simulator 2. I've been playing a little bit offline. The beam thing, still not solved. Beam's just gone. I know why the beam is there now, because I forgot it's a plot point from Power Wash Simulator 1. What kind of tea should you make? Ooh. That one I cannot help you with. So yeah, we'll be back with more Power Wash Simulator 2 on Wednesday. And then it'll be US Thanksgiving on Thursday. I have no shows that day anyways. And then Friday, we'll be back with more Circle of Seekers and Sinners over on Bad House RPG, where it is going to be our penultimate episode. And we have a special guest from the one shot that this whole series came off of that I was not a part of. And my character is now going to be meeting the original, one of the original members of this circle for the first time. And Paxton's just so charming and wonderful. I'm sure it'll go great. Nothing can possibly go wrong there. And then on Saturday, you can come back to Transplanter RPG for more of the Chaos Protocol. We'll be back with episode 8, the podcast episode 8, because we did episode 7 2 weeks ago, and then episode 8 will be this Saturday, and then we'll be back to doing 2 podcast episodes per Saturday in December. So, yeah, that's everything. And then stay tuned. I've got some fun stuff coming up very, very soon. Some announcements in the pipeline, including, oh, well, one of them's been announced as of today. Well, before today, actually. Speaking of Vault Companions, you can come and check us out on December 7th. For the return of Angels and Atoms, which is a Fallout actual play using the 2D20 Modifius system. We had an incredible first season at the very origin of Vault Companions, and now we are bringing it back, going into some fun New Vegas stuff, while my lovely robot, delightful child, Mart, has been busy doing stuff between seasons, and I'm sure everyone else has too. So, tune in on December 7th for the return of Angels and Atoms on Vault Companions. I'm so excited. And we've got 2 other amazing castmates that have been in chat, and our lovely GM, of course, the GM behind Vault Companions, Patrick there. And then we've got Lena and Val are both in that show. You can also join them, me, and our incredible other Vaulty, Jade Valkyrie, as we quest through the wasteland. And do God knows what. Where I play Mart, who is a Mr. Handy robot who's great and perfect and wonderful and has never done anything wrong in his life. And I've got some other fun announcements coming up very soon, so stay tuned for those. Some holiday specials, some charity streams, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and an upcoming show from Happy Jack. So a bunch of stuff in the works. But in the meantime, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm gonna go rest up, and everyone else should too. We've got a lot of stuff going on out there. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye.